Russell K with another edition of the Artist Spotlight Show. Our show is being brought to you by Music Dreams USA Radio, Biker Bay Barber and Company, and Blue Shamrock Record Label. When it comes to upcoming aspiring artists, we're the show. And if you're looking to get your name out there, we've got you covered. If you're looking to get some exposure and get your name out there, please send your request to info.musicdreamsusaradio@gmail.com. And our guest right here as well. He is the one, the only Liam Edward Golder. He is in the house. And if you never heard of that name, by the time this interview is over, you know exactly who he is. So without any further delay, let's bring on our special guest, Mr. Liam. How are you doing, my friend?
Hi, Russell. Doing good. Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. It's an honor. It is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. We kind of like did a warm-up show. We kind of did a warm-up, but you already thought we were going live.
We did the warm-up. I thought it was live already. It's funny. Hilarious. Yeah, I really thought it was rolling. But yeah, so that's cool. It's great to be here. And yeah, the music's it's been a massive ride or journey, so to speak, you know, with everything. Yeah, literally, as I say, writing songs, creating songs for different celebrities over the years, and the PR and marketing of celebrities and music teaching as well. It's all of it. So it's like I was saying through the warm up talk, working with Hot Chocolate and developing them forever, Wu-Tang Clan, John Somerton, Herman's Hermits, so many different artists that worked with over the years. And keep doing building up the radio play, TV stations, record labels, magazines, all that stuff, gigs and tours and stuff. So I'll keep writing for them, and I'll keep promoting as well. Obviously, the unsigned talent out there, all the people that are unsigned, and try and help as many people as possible. Yeah, absolutely, and helping each other.
Let's touch your amazing career. You're a songwriter, you're a music teacher, and you are just like us. You are looking for upcoming aspiring artists. And so with that being said, with all the years of experience that you have, what are some of the things that you look for when you're actually recruiting an upcoming aspiring artist? What do they need to impress you for you to go further with them?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, great question. Yeah. The thing that comes up all the time, as well as being very talented and gifted, is actually personality-wise, it's having that reliability and consistency, and I'd say the trust being there and being genuine, because a lot of the artists come very great. You get some that are back and forward, they're not on time, they're trying to send their music through to you, and you're waiting on their music and all this. So it's really important to create timekeeping and consistency, and it's a two-way thing. I was saying this to someone the other day. It's literally a two-way street of communication and to get the music out there and to build things up. That's what it is. It's really keeping it going and keeping it strong. And so it's really important, as well as having the talent. Someone could have the talent, but the personalities all over the place. So it's really important to have both. It's really important to have both, as artists, and to be able to sort of display that and keep the machine regular. Definitely. So
well, with all the competition out there, and again slammed like daily with all kinds of people who want to be the next music star. I mean, how do you sort through that? I mean, with all the competition, I mean, you got people that are very close, maybe are not there yet. How do you break the news that you're almost there, but not quite there yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, there's a mixture of really strong talent and people that are not there, and it's really just either let them know, or sometimes I'll just only reply to the ones that can actually work with, because I normally get about 4 a day or 5 a day sometimes submissions. So, or sometimes more. Sometimes it can be more than that. So it depends, but it's really just working out who's like I said earlier, just working out the great talent and also the people that have actually got the right character, have that charisma, have that have that vibe about what they're doing as well. So I always think personality
Mhm.
is as important as the talent. Because people out there, obviously the radio stations, TV stations, they've got to like the people as well, rather than just say that person's got an amazing song, but they're not really got the people skills. They've got the character or the sort of, that charisma. So yeah, it's just really working out who the best people are to work with, and you know, and helping them. Yeah, definitely. That's what it comes down to.
Let me ask you this. Now that we're on that subject, right?
Yeah.
Music Dreams USA Radio is a platform. It's a internet professional internet streaming platform. What do you know about internet streaming radio platform, and how can we partner with you to get the word out there? Well, hey, internet streaming radio is here. It's worldwide. It gets you more exposure. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, with what you're doing, it's fantastic. And really, I can put artists your way or the other way around as well. Put music through. We can put ideas together after the show and work out ways of doing that. And more ideas that we've not thought about yet. But yeah, a lot of it would be putting artists through each way to each other. And I think really creating more opportunities for the music for what you're doing there with the radio show. Yeah, so any way I can obviously assist putting talent through, creating more opportunities for you, and vice versa. That'd be fantastic. And I say ideas we've not thought of yet, probably.
That's
So
right. I love
lots of
it.
new, lots of
One
new
team.
possibilities. Yeah, yes, yes, new
Another
possibilities.
question
That's
for
it.
you. Yeah, another one for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with internet radio, right? The artist spotlight show, which we do, it's interchangeable, meaning that we can go on the road, we can interview artists before, during, and after. But I want to run this idea
Mm,
by you, and I mean, since you're a music professional, and you kind of like do the same thing we do. Here's our idea, and let me know what you think about it. We have this idea about going to a venue where an artist is playing. We do an interview before they go live on the show. So we do maybe say like
yeah, amazing.
a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute interview, right? Once the interview is over, we have the ability, we can download that interview in a matter of minutes. We then take the
Wow.
interview and we send it over to the production team. They take the
Mm,
interview and they play it live in front of everyone
wow.
before the guest goes live on the air. What do you think about that
Yeah, that's
idea?
great. Yeah, that's really good and unique. Actually, it is definitely. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because I think that's what music needs now. It needs people to think of things differently. We're all a bit some of us are all going down the same path and doing the same things, and that idea on its own is very unique. And I've not heard anyone else doing that. So I think that would be a great avenue for yourself and for the singers, songwriters, bands, musicians. Give them something extra, wouldn't it, as well? And people go, oh, that's,
Mhm.
because people want to hear something new and different, don't they? They don't want to, they want something fresh. So your idea is very, very strong. Yeah, definitely. I think that'd be exciting. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to blush now because I mean, hear from a music professional just like yourself, I'm going to blush now. Yes, a lot of
Oh,
your
that's fun.
music, there you go. A lot of your music is on TV. It's on radio. I mean, your music's like all over the place. Can you kind of like
Yeah.
our listeners are watching now that we'll be watching later? How did your musical journey begin? And I mean, honestly, that's gotta make you feel great that no matter where you go, you can hear your music.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I literally started out just literally. I was 15 years old. Decided at that point at school I wanted to get into radio and TV and all that sort of thing. But I thought, as well as doing the music, I thought I want to be involved in the music business as well. And got offered jobs in London for music companies. Then I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own music company and work with different artists as well. And that was it. It started off with some unsigned bands, unsigned singers, and it developed. And it suddenly I was working with famous people, and it built up from there. Started in the beginning with like guys from the Clash, the Damned, went on to other famous bands and songwriters and singers and all that sort of thing. And I thought, well, I've got the best of both worlds. Then if I can sing and write songs with some of the celebrities and promote them, I'm involved in sort of all of that. And then obviously get involved in the teaching and tutoring, mentoring of different people as well. So I thought that way I'm sort of going for more than one avenue, you know, and ultimately helping people. So it was born out of self-creation, really, because I thought rather than just work for a company, I'll be the company, you know,
That's
and,
awesome.
and do that. Yeah, do that really, rather than keep looking for music jobs in the beginning. I thought, well, I'm just going to create one. That was it. Yeah, or create many different music hats, really. Yeah. So
Let
that
me
was the
ask you
start of it all.
this.
Yeah.
You've had such a storied career. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is there any memories that you'd like to share with us that really something you're never going to forget?
Yeah. I think more the more one that was, I suppose, this year especially. I woke up one morning and it was like I remember it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, and I get like an email and it's from the drummer of Hot Chocolate. And he's like, "We want to work with you and do more work with you and all this sort of thing." And then I got another message and it was the same morning, within minutes, got a message from Wu-Tang Clan. So in New York, and I was like the same thing. I want to work on an album and work on songs and stuff. And I thought, wow, this is crazy. I've not even had a cup of coffee today, and this is happening. It's insane, very surreal. Um, Musically, I'm more into like Hot Chocolate, but it's actually good to have both interests. And obviously working with other people as well. I remember that one morning, just that happening, just within moments, both famous bands just going, we want to do more work with you, sort of thing, carry on what we're doing. So it was quite a surreal moment. Yeah, definitely. But there's been lots of famous bands. I've worked with, say, Linkin Park and Imagine Dragons and lots of different rock bands. Billy Idol's guitarist and stuff, and lots of tag team. Whoop, there it is. So there's been a real mixture. Florence the Machine, the Source, Candy State, and You've Got the Love. Lots of famous songs, promoting them. So it's been really exciting. But that day was definitely one I remember thinking, oh my god, crazy.
That's the
you know, two,
music
two,
business.
two famous bands just contacting you within minutes, and just talking about working with them still and carrying on the music. So crazy.
I mean, I love hearing you say that because
Yeah,
that's what the music business is all about. We like to say, expect the unexpected. I
yeah,
mean, when you least expect it is when it's going to happen. I mean, just like the story you shared, right? I mean,
yeah,
you're just starting to get your day going. And all of a sudden, you get an unexpected email from the drummer of Hot Chocolate, right?
yeah,
And you're
yeah,
like, what?
yeah. I know. He's
So
the music director as well, so he's in charge of the band, really. You know,
that's
but
awesome.
obviously I still talk to the lead singer and stuff, Kenny. But it's great. It's really cool, and especially when the sort of the music that you've grown up with and you're admired, and suddenly you're becoming part of what they're doing. Part of the band. It's like it's amazing. It really is. And do some songwriting with the drummer as well and the band and all that stuff. They've got a new song coming out, so we're waiting on that to get going. Wait for that to start really. So they go back on tour again. It's all timing, all that stuff. But as I say, there's been so many exciting bands. Depeche Mode. Where I come from Basildon originally, in Essex, in England, and grew up with Depeche Mode and listened to their songs. And I got to work with them before, so that was great. But it's exciting. It's exciting. So you just keep going and keep building it. You keep working on it all. Definitely.
There you go. I
Mm.
love it. And a lot of the bands you're talking about is like I grew up listening to those bands, The Clash, Depeche Mode,
Flash.
and
Yeah.
I mean all those guys. Hot Chocolate, you sexy thing. It's
I
like, come on.
know. Crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. I know. I
So
know. I know.
I mean, I just love those bands.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny you say that, right? Because the people that listen to music today,
Mm.
they're still listening to the old school music of yesterday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We actually here's something I got to share with you, right? We just did a survey, right? And on that survey, we asked a segment of people, what type of music do you listen to?
Mm.
The majority of those people said, we don't like the music of today. And, it doesn't have a
So,
message. The world's in
mm,
bad shape right
yeah,
now. We need music that's going to be edifying, to be
it is.
uplifting,
It is.
that's going to help us go through whatever we're going through that day. We find that in older
Mm,
music, not the music of
mm.
today. With me just saying that, with you being a music professional, what do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely agree. Yeah, it's all about the music, the old songs, classic songs, the ones that are timeless. As compared to today's music, I think you look at so many of the old bands and artists, and it's still kept alive, isn't it? You know, a lot of us are still playing all the old songs. Most people I know, we're all still playing the old songs, and I say, I mean, Hot Chocolate again is like since the '60s, isn't it? And a lot of these bands, Led Zeppelin, Queen, whoever it is, solo artists, whoever, whatever music, I think the old stuff keeps coming back, and the younger generation is still playing a lot of the older bands, aren't they? Whatever you're inspired by, you grew up with, I grew up with Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, and Nirvana, all that sort of stuff, Metallica, these sort of bands, and but all different kinds of music as well. But you're right, a lot of the old music keeps on going. Yeah,
I hear you. I agree with you
yeah, yeah.
100%.
That's what it is.
Now let's switch gears a little bit here. We're talking about the music industry,
Mm,
right? Now we interview like a lot of artists, and one of the things that they're talking about, and I'm glad we have you on the show, is how they're getting paid.
mm,
Through like the
yeah,
internet, Spotify, anywhere the music can be played. And one of the arguments is they feel like they're not getting paid what they're worth. I
yeah.
mean, they're creating the music,
Hmm.
they're getting the music out there. They're spending God knows how long to put the songs together. And a lot of artists that we interview are saying we don't feel like we're getting paid what we should be getting
Exactly.
paid. We feel like we're getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So you as a music
Mm, hmm.
executive, what is one of the things that we can do to make it an even playing field?
Yeah, I hear it all the time. Exactly. It's a common frustration, and people will get angry and say frustrated by this. Um, See, I think things like Spotify are limiting people. A lot of us are talking about it because obviously you can get a million streams and still not have enough money from that. So the best thing, the best thing really is a lot of TV music. I know a lot of people who are getting TV regularly. Well, I'm doing TV regularly as well, but getting payments from TV play and TV placements. Getting on adverts and commercials and films and all the regular things, video games, of course, playing live like regular concerts, all the regular things them sort of things, but merchandise. Also, I say getting the merchandise out there as well, getting branding out there. You can make quite a bit through merchandise as well. And writing, things what I'm doing then, writing for other people, trying to get into write for famous bands, up and coming back famous bands and singers and songwriters, musicians. Try and get in with that as well, rather than just worrying about Spotify and YouTube's not paying a lot on videos, same thing. So I think, yeah, focus on what works. You know, really getting that stuff and get branding, get sponsorships. For your music and stuff, and trying, like I said earlier, I think it's trying to go about things differently, not trying to just do the same as everybody else and just people putting music on Facebook, telling a few people, telling their family and friends, and then waiting for something to happen. A lot of the time, so you've got to obviously get it out there. But I say merchandise is a big one, and sponsorships, and just really get massively on TV, get massively on gigging and touring, and play as many places as you can, and request those payments. So rather than just and not trying to give out things for free, just trying to do things where you're gonna bring bring in bring in the income as well. Um, it, you
Well,
know,
since we're talking about TV,
TV, yeah, TV is huge. A lot of people are still missing TV. A lot of things I said, some of it sounds obvious, but a lot of people are forgetting about TV or forgetting to get their merchandise out, you know, and all that stuff. And really, yeah, I mean, if people, as well as doing their own songs, do cover songs, but put your own songs in there, so you're sort of mixing both if you can. get recording on other people's songs, get in the studio, get paid for that. Get different angles rather than just trying to do the same things over and over, and then obviously in the same position. So, but I would say get out there and try and network and meet different celebrity people, and also just really push it different ways, get companies behind your songs as well, and write jingles for different companies, write songs for different brands as well, and all that sort of thing. So, and yeah, and try and get as much going as possible, yeah, absolutely. Just keep pushing it out there, many angles and many new ways you can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that
Mm-hmm.
because now that as we move forward with other artist interviews, and if that question does come back again, which it
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
will, now we can kind of like share the great examples that you gave, and make
Yeah.
them more aware, kind of like
That's
think
it.
outside the scope and expand
Yeah.
your horizons,
That's
right?
it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Because there's bands out there now and singers out there now. They might have a massive following, but they're not actually even trying to sell their music, and they're not even trying to say to them, "I've got all these T-shirts available. I've got these baseball caps. I've got these hoodies. I've got all these extra things that they could do, which they're sort of missing out on. Um, and of course, try and get gigs with bigger acts, get supporting big acts, and just get your name out there as much as possible. And yeah, it's really just being open to new possibilities, and trying to, you might end up singing at a restaurant, you might end up singing in a bar and singing, keep going, keep getting to do bigger things, and really, same as I did, you just literally try and work with as many big people as you can, and try to expand your network and what you're doing with them, and yeah, plan some events, get some events going, do something on behalf of a big organization or something, or a big charity or something, and get people there, and just get it all out there, you know. But yeah, definitely look at new ways. Don't try and follow the crowd. Try and do something individual. You know. So yeah,
Think outside the box, right?
outside the box, outside the rectangle, outside the circle, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, since my boss is watching right now, we're gonna play safe. Says think outside the box.
yes, 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 yeah.
Uh,
That's it. Think
but
outside the
it's so
music.
nice I'm chatting with you.
Yeah, you too.
It's so nice talking to you, and
You as well.
I mean, what an amazing career you've had, and the music executive, and just where you started, where you are now.
Yeah, lots
And
more to
so
come.
let's stay on that same route. So, is there anything you'd like to share with our audience?
Really, just the fact that, as well as working with different celebrities and writing for them and some singing, I do help the unsigned guys. I do help the up and coming talent, people that have got songs but haven't actually put the songs anywhere, or frustrated. Like we said earlier about frustration, but you know, recording the songs and then going, what do I do now? That's a big thing. People often record loads of songs and they don't know where to put the songs. Where to put the music. So it's trying to get them out there. So I can help people as much as I can get the songs to radio stations and TV, music venues, magazines, labels, music to hotels, music to airports, music to restaurants, shopping malls, GMs, all this sort of thing that I work on with my extended contacts. And yeah, they can get in contact with me and say, and get the music out there. So that's it. I say I'm a songheroesmusic@gmail.com, or they can go for the website www.song-heroes-music-pr.com. That's going through loads of updates and changes, but always trying to improve and update things. But I run it on my own. I'm running all this and getting all this going, and an extended team of people that I meet along the way. So, but yeah, it's all about getting the music out there, helping people, and obviously making music a better place for everyone. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you've had, as I mentioned when we opened up the show, you've had such an amazing career, and you've been on every avenue there can be. So, with that being said, are there any avenues that you have not yet been to that you want to get to? If so, what are they?
And not been to. I I've always like I think even bigger crowds eventually. You know, occasional gigs still. I've not been gigging like I used to. I used to gig around London a lot, you know, that sort of thing. But to even work with some of the bigger acts that I've got and, you know, play with them a bit would be fantastic. You know, get out there and support some of the bigger artists as well. Play alongside them more would be fantastic every now and again. I think that would be something great to do. And what I'm trying to do as well is record with them. I'm trying to sing and get, say, John Summerton, Herman's Hermits, um, Carl Williams, the drummer of Hot Chocolate, on the songs. So I'm trying to incorporate other musicians in my recordings more again. Me and John from Herman's Hermits have recorded a lot of songs over the years, well over 50 songs. But I want to extend that and put other musicians on there as well. So it'd be Liam Edward Golder, say, plus Hot Chocolate musicians, plus Herman's Hermit, plus any other famous musicians I can put on there as well, and extend that. That would be really exciting. So yeah, do that even further.
Here's another question for you. I mean, obviously, you've been in the music business for a really long
Yeah,
time.
30 years.
What does it take to get to where you are right now? How can people stay in the
Mm.
business and stay focused and not? I mean, because you're gonna have you're gonna hit peaks and valleys,
Oh
and
yeah, ups and
you're
downs.
gonna have good days, you're
Oh,
gonna have bad
absolutely,
days, and there'll probably
absolutely,
be days like, you know what,
absolutely,
I'm out of here, right?
absolutely.
What is your success to longevity in this career?
Yeah.
And with that being said, how can you share that without giving away the family recipe to others who may be going through what you're going through?
Yeah, I mean the big one really is the word that we've come with earlier, um, and it regularly comes up: consistency. Consistency in music, consistency in your work, consistency in helping people and working with them, and reliability. You know, because ultimately that all links to trust, and the trust that you build these authentic, genuine relationships with the people that you work with and help. So for them, for other people listening, it's really that you've got to keep being consistent. You know, you're going to have your bad days, you're going to have your stressful days. You know, you're going to have your hard moments. You're going to have moments where you go, oh, "Why am I doing this? Who cares anymore? You know, why am I bothering? I might as well just quit." And for me, quit's something I never do. You know, and I say to people, you know, just don't. It's the old saying, but don't quit. You just keep consistent. Keep, you know, you might achieve one thing that day, but keep at it. Keep going. You're allowed to have rest days, of course. You need rest days, but just be consistent and keep networking to meet the right people. One person can change your life. One person that you meet can completely open a doorway, and your whole life changes. One email, one conversation. You know, so just keep
Yeah.
going. Be consistent. Keep going. Determined, and keep meeting people, and keep doing what you're doing. Keep believing in what you're doing. That's the other thing. People, you know, you'll a lot get people that will say you can't do that, you shouldn't do it. What, you work in music? That's not a real job, you know, and all this stuff and things like, oh, I don't believe you're really doing that. I don't believe you're really working with that band or whatever. Just keep doing it. You know, you're always going to get people who are not going to believe what you're doing or will try and put down what you're doing. But you just keep going. Just keep going. Keep doing what you're going to do. You know. Yeah, I had this. You know, I mean, I years and years ago, I worked for schools. I worked for the you know, for the law.
Oh
I worked for
wow.
the law. I used to work for the police in England in the law, and I worked in schools. When I left one of the schools, and one of the staff said to me, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to carry on doing the music. I've made more music money from music than I have from being in the law in the past, being at schools, working in high end care, medical, all that stuff, for other companies. And I've always made more money from the music." And someone said to
Wow.
me, "Yeah, that's the crazy thing as well. I always made more money from the music than anything else." And it was and people, you know, someone said to me, "Oh, that's great, but what's your real job?" And I said, "That is it, music." I said, I'm actually making a living from music." And they was like, "Wow," because there's still that stereotype sometimes, isn't there? People don't see music; they see music as a hobby. They see music as a something to do for fun in your spare time. And obviously, there are a lot of people still out there making it, you know, and actually,
Wow. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So just, you know, yeah. So I had to go from having an income to doubling my income again through music, and none of my other careers that I used to do back in the day, um, working for other people, never made as much money as what I did through music. You know, and I couldn't believe it myself. But so that was it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, but that's what it was, and it doesn't
I
leave.
love hearing you say that. You know
Yeah.
why? Because as I was listening to your
Mm,
feedback,
mm,
I cannot help but think
yeah.
about Merle Fest
Mm,
2026. Before we got accepted to do Merle Fest
yeah.
2026, they heard about us, but did they really hear about us? Did they know what we did? Did they know who we
Mm,
are? Did they know that we care about music?
yeah.
We want to be a part of the music industry. Did they know that we interviewed artists, right? And all those things were kind of like what you're talking about, right? All those things are going through our head. Are we doing the right thing? Are we wasting our time?
Of course.
I mean, we're
Mm,
not getting any sponsors. I
yeah.
mean,
Things go through your mind.
no one. It
Of
seems
course.
like no one.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we get accepted. We get that break, like you talked
Mm,
about, for Merle Fest 2026. We get in there, we knock out of the ballpark, and
that's
we
it.
met some amazing
Yeah.
connections that are last for a
That's
lifetime.
it.
And kind of like what you're just saying, right? To never give
Yeah. Okay.
up. And it doesn't have to be artists, it could be a radio station, it could be any dreams that you have. To never give up, right? So I want to personally say thank you for sharing that because that person you're talking about, that person was us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just,
Yeah.
you're a small station, and you're doing everything you can to get your name out there,
Yeah.
and you're legit
Mm-hmm.
and you're honest, you're sincere, and you want to help. And it just seemed like, is that door ever going to
Mm,
open?
mm,
And
mm,
so just hearing you say that
mhm,
today, I want to personally, even though we're live on the air right
mhm,
now, I want to say
mm.
thank you for sharing that, and that means a
Yeah,
lot. So
absolutely. No
thank you.
problem at all. No, definitely. I mean, that's what it is. One crazy story just reminded me of actually. In the beginning, doing music, I saw a business advisor. One of the stories I tell people is my own business advisor, right in the very beginning, said, "I don't know, I don't know about music. It's a bit hit and miss, and if you're gonna work with different artists, it's hit and miss." He said, "I don't know if it's a stable career. I don't know if you should bother." And I went out there a bit deflated, and I thought, I've got a choice now. I can either listen to him or I can try and do it. And that was it. It was trying to do something, and it went up. And money started coming in. Money started going up, and helping people, but having a career, but paid through music, which I wouldn't have done if I hadn't if I'd listened to him. I'd never have done it. I might have been like, wow, I'm not
Wow.
going to do that. I'm not going to even try. I'm not going to bother with music because he said, it's hit or miss. So why try? Why bother? But then I was like, no, okay, well, I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to try and do something.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. And music's paid for holidays. Music's paid for traveling. Music's paid for the bills. It's paid the rent. It's paid. It's been paid, all that stuff. It improved as time went on, and you had your hard moments, but I never listened. I say I'm in America now temporarily, but it pays what you're doing, trying to get through things, and to get to it can be a career, even when people don't always think that. So I mean, I grew up the same thing. Like at school, people say you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a nurse, to the people, or you're going to be a lawyer, or whatever. But they don't go, you're going to be a musician, because it's not always taken seriously. Or you're going to be a singer, or whatever. People, as I say, a lot of time they see that as something
Wow.
that you
That's
can just
awesome.
do on the sideline. So it's good to follow your dreams without sounding cheesy, and actually to make a go of something and believe in what you're doing. And fear going to creep in. I've had so much fear over the years. So much fear hit me, and I had to. My biggest thing was trying to push that away and just do it anyway. You know,
That's
and say,
awesome.
right, still gonna do that, and as you said, make a success of something, even when it feels like everything's against you, even when it feels like the walls are caving in. You think, oh, what am I going to do here? How am I going to do this? And you have the sleepless nights and you have the worry, but you still push through it, you know, and you still end up achieving stuff and things that you wouldn't have achieved if you let your doubts and your fears and all this stuff take over. But you got to give it a shot, and you got to try your
Yeah,
best
we
and
wouldn't
keep
be
keep
talking right
keep
now. Yeah.
that going. Yeah, we'll be talking right now, and
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, absolutely achieving things that you would never achieve if you didn't actually get started. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
As we wind
Yeah.
down our interview this afternoon, I mean, man, we could just talk forever. I swear to God, we could. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, as
Yeah.
we wind down, is there anything you like? Well, one thing I'd like to ask you is, how can people get in
Mm.
contact with you?
Yeah, just reaching out really. Sonheroesmusic@gmail.com I mentioned earlier on the email. The website's going through a lot of updates at the moment and changes. I'm running that, on my own. What I run that company. So it's www.son-heroes-music-pr.com. And I'm just, yeah, that's it. I'm just basically getting the music out there, and I can help people if they get in touch. I'll get back to as many people as possible and organise some Zoom meetings and all that stuff, and try and get the music out there for them.
Awesome.
Really. Yeah.
Anything you want to share? I mean, is there anything? Maybe is there something we missed during the interview that maybe would be important for you to maybe to discuss right now?
Just that I'm helping people with teaching as well. People that want help with songwriting. People that want to help with guitar. Many people as I can help as many as I can help as possible. And the fact that I do help people with different disabilities and illnesses as well. Very much about music and health. So I try and help people that have got health problems. Um, I'm very I've got a health background as well, medical background. So because I've got my own PR in health and medical as well and law, but the music took over. So I did that because I've got interest
Wow.
in that really, but simply because I've got interest in the law and medical and health. But the big thing I do is the music, and the money maker is the music really, because that's took over everything. So it's crazy.
That's
Like I said
awesome.
earlier, it's crazy. Who'd think? Who'd think? You'd think it'd be,
You know what? Here's
yeah,
something funny.
yeah.
I always want to learn how to play the drums.
Yeah, drums, it's a fantastic instrument, one of my favourite instruments, and I'm planning on having more lessons with the drummer of Hot Chocolate, because he's a friend of mine and, colleague. I'm planning on having more, brushing up my drumming. I can drum, but I want to get even better, and I thought, Carl can show me a bit more drums. Recording the songs, teach a bit of drum, even further the skills of drums. But as you say, it's such a, for you personally and listeners out there, the drums is an absolute fantastic instrument. I personally think guitar and drums are the best instruments in the world, you know, as well as your vocal instrument.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
much energy, you know. One thing I
Oh,
like about it is like you watch
yeah,
those guys. I mean, they have
yeah.
so much energy, and I mean, we're
Oh,
really the
I
life of
love
the
it.
band. I mean,
I love it.
with the drums sound, if
Absolutely.
you don't have a good drummer, you don't have a good band. you
It's the
know,
heartbeat
so
of the band. I think the drummer, is the heartbeat of the band, and I love drumming. Um, I actually started off at the School of Rock years ago, and I was, doing guitar then, and as well, I was actually drumming through an academy as well. And the actual teacher, the tutor, come in, and and I was in there playing the drums, and I thought, oh my god, the tutor's coming now, he's watching me. And he actually he was also a drummer for like big famous rock acts as well. So he drummed alongside like Marilyn Manson. There's this very extreme rock, heavy rock, heavy metal. And I thought, oh my god, this guy is watching me. So I was like playing, and then I stopped, and he came over, and he's asked, oh god, what's he going to say? I thought he was going to say, whatever. And he basically just said, God, you're really good. I really like your drumming. And I was like, what? I was like, what? He said that? So I've always loved the drums, but definitely want to do more of that, more recording of that, and as I say, get Carl Williams of Hot Chocolate to brush me up even further and get more of his knowledge. That guy can drum. So yeah, you're absolutely right. But whatever you do, whatever path you follow in music, whether it's singing or drumming or songwriting or bass guitar, whatever you're doing, make the most of that, and keep at it. And there's always got to be one pathway. I say keep a few pathways of what you're doing, and it's just phenomenal. And always trying to be better. Always try and be better, and always try and improve that.
they can get their name out there and so on and so forth. And here is Liam. He's back. All
Back
right.
again.
I
Yeah,
thought it
still
was
there.
something I said.
No, it's like just the actual screen just cut off then, so I don't know what happened now. No idea what happened at all.
Yeah. So
So yeah,
we can pick up where we left off.
yeah. That was like a break in the music, when you got a silence in the song and it carries on again.
That's right. I held down the fort. You got back, right? So I made sure people are watching right now. I made sure they didn't leave.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's funny. That's
So you're
funny.
up in New York right
So
now, right?
at the moment, yeah, at the moment here, yep, just working on the business side of it, on the music, and then back to the UK, back to London again, and yeah, that's it. So I got a lot of the London, say hot chocolate, obviously London, England, and working on that, and yeah, it'd be great, it'd be cool. Um, but it's phenomenal to help people in music, um, from both sides of it. When I do the songs, it's about the message of the songs, and not about me, but helping them, getting the songs out there. And the same with their music, and it's about them and their songs. It's about helping them. It's about getting as much achieved as possible, as many angles as possible, and like I said earlier, and just um, helping people in a unique way. Um, so, which is lacking, because I think, with what you're doing, what I'm doing, it's trying to help people, and there's a lack of people trying to help others in music sometimes. Because it's all about, there's a lot of companies out there not really helping them, taking their money, running off with their songs or whatever they're doing, or promising people they're going to help, and then not actually doing that sometimes.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and it could be months and then nothing happens. People waiting for months and months to get an email or whatever, and all that crazy stuff. A band I worked with years ago, they said they went for this meeting, hand over loads of money at a meeting, and then the music company run off, never saw them again. There's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of nervousness and fear in people, understandably. So yeah, it's really just to say helping people, and whatever side you're on of it, whether you're writing the songs and making the music, or you're helping get the music out there, there's always going to be fear, and you're trying to like help as many people as possible and do something that's not been done, or been done, make it happen in a way which is very different to what's been done before. You know, and sometimes some people are shocked by me because I'm helping people, and they're like, "Well, you want to help me? What's going on there?" You know,
Yeah. I
what's that
mean,
about? They're actually, yeah, yeah, too good to be true.
I mean,
Because
yeah, it's so true.
sometimes
It's
people
like,
think that, yeah. Even when
yeah,
you are helping people, they're like, "What's going on?" They can't believe it. It's like a dream. It's like, you want to help them, and people are going, "Wow, people haven't helped me like this before. This is different. This is you. This is it's very much its own." You know, because they're not used to. A lot of people are not used to getting the help. They're not used to people trying to do something for them. And there's so much lack of trust
right.
in music and life, of course, as well. These days, people always think you're trying to trick them.
Yeah.
People sometimes, like loads of people I work with, which are really great, amazing. We've got such a trust and such a bond with the music. But of course, there's always skeptics out there, because people are used to being hurt. People are used to being misled. People are used to, what's the catch? People a lot of the time they're like, oh, you know.
Right.
So, but when you are like yourself, when you are, and what I'm doing, you're helping people. Um, and then people go, oh wow, you're actually doing something. You're actually helping. You're actually supporting what I'm doing, and then they, you know, it's like they're quite shocked.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that one. That was great.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
So since we're
Definitely,
talking about
definitely.
songwriting, what does your songwriting look like? I mean, when you put
Mm,
songs together,
mm,
I know like through all the interviews, I've learned a lot. Trust me. I mean, I'm like on the job training here. But some of the artists, they have these
mm,
computers that has all these words, and then they take the words, the beats of the songs, and they kind of like
mm,
jingle,
mm.
mingle, jingle, whatever. They finally put the song together.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
there's also artists that write on personal
Mm.
experiences. What does your songwriting look like?
Well, the songs are mainly love songs and love rock songs mainly, and other songs about life. Generally, a lot of it's rock. I do write different styles of music as well, like hip hop, all sorts of for different people, all sorts of different songs. But the songwriting looks more like I have a process which is quite I can just literally get the whole song in my head, either words or music. Sometimes I get all the music in my head and add words to it in my head, or the words come first. Or sometimes I just hitting and like I'll be tapping something, you know, even a bottle of water, and suddenly suddenly got an idea. It's a crazy thing, you know. Sometimes it's on the guitar. Sometimes I've got an idea. I'm strumming, I'm playing something, and then suddenly I've got the words for the whole song. You know, it doesn't
Oh
always go
wow.
one way or the other. It doesn't always go one way or the other. It can be, I say, it can literally. I'm walking around a shop and I've had a song idea in my head. I could be at the beach, and then the song will shoot into my head, for example. Um, you know, beach in UK or local beach here, just walking along trying to clear my head, and suddenly you've got some idea. So everyone's got their own ways. You know, some people want to write lyrics first, some people want to write the music first, or a bit of both. But I get ideas through sounds. You know, it can be just a sound that I hear, and I'll be getting a song idea from the sound of something. You know, could be an animal, could be a bird making a noise, and suddenly I've got a song idea. You know,
Oh
so
wow.
it completely varies. Completely varies. Um, yeah, absolutely. So that's what it is. That's what it is. It's a mixture of different things, and we all got our own different ways, you know, of doing it. Really. So yeah, absolutely. Just experimenting with different sounds and ideas, and
Hmm.
being a bit like this music professor,
Ah, there you
like a
go. There you go.
like a music
You're already
scientist.
teaching me. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like a
cool.
scientist, like a music scientist. You know, you're shooting out all these ideas from everywhere, and I think music's like food. Talking about recipes and stuff earlier, I feel like putting
Tell
food
me more
together.
about
You know,
that. Tell me more about
yeah,
that. Why
yeah.
why do you think
I think
music is like food?
I think because you know you put in something, you get something. You thought, I've got this food, whatever it is. You know, okay, got this banana. You know, and say, well, I'm going to put. I don't want to eat the banana. I don't want the banana on its own. So I'm going to put something with that. And then suddenly you put whatever with it. You know, peanut butter. Okay, I don't just want that now. Whatever. You start putting layers together. You know, you start putting different things together that taste good, or you know. So for me, I think layering food is a bit like music because you're putting different things together, you're adding different things, and suddenly to get the whole mix, the whole recipe of the song, you know, and it goes from there. So I think there's a similarity with food and music.
I love
You
that.
know,
I
yeah,
mean, of
yeah,
all the shows we've done,
yeah,
I've never heard that before.
yeah,
That's a classic.
yeah,
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
people are
yeah,
watching now, we'll be watching later. We already got
yeah,
that
yeah. The
trademark.
recipe of a song, the recipe of food. You know, yeah, you got to put it together and get the perfect recipe or menu becomes the whole album. There you go. You know.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah, yeah. That's what it is.
That's amazing.
So I've actually created a brand which I'm trying to release properly, which is Melody Taste. So that is actually a food brand, which can be other things like T-shirts or coffee mugs or whatever. Melody Taste. So it'd be, you know, health drinks, health food, all sorts of things, and Melody Taste can relate to lots of things. But it's yeah. So as I say, it can go back even so just be like like music is food. Or
Oh yeah,
music is all these different tastes of things. Really, it could be a restaurant, whatever
that's
it is.
right.
Yep,
Like
that's
music
it.
and food, right? You can't live with it, but you can't live without it.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you go, you go out to different restaurants, you go out eating, and you know with your friends and different friends, colleagues, and you think, oh, music's playing, isn't it? A lot of time, music's playing in the background, and you're eating the food, but the music's there. So it's again, it's not one, music. Just eating food without the music being there wouldn't feel the same for a lot of us, you know. So there's a big. I think there's a big when you're recording a song and putting all the ideas together. It's definitely a big um, similarity in food being part of like bit like works the same sort of process as music.
Wow, I like that. That's
Like the
amazing.
recording process. Yeah, 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 definitely. I think so.
Any final thoughts as we wind down here? I mean, man, what a great
Well,
interview we've had.
mm,
And what else
yeah,
you want
it's
to
been
share?
great.
There's no limit on with the artist spotlight show. We have no limits.
Yes, yes. Well, yeah, it's just I say what I do is all getting the music is about getting the music out there. So it's radio stations, mass TV, mass um, magazines and interviews, all for them as well, them companies, and I say the record labels and different other companies, and um, getting people out there and getting them paid as well for their music. As I said, the teaching, as like I said, I'm running that on my own. It's on heroesmusic@gmail.com. And the website, as I said earlier, is www.son-heroes-music-pr.com. Going through lots of updates and changes through the website designer. But
Well,
I'm
you know
running all
what?
that. Yeah,
Before we go, my
yes,
nose was
yeah.
itching. That's a good sign. That's never happened on the show. My nose is itching right now.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, yeah,
But all right,
that's
so
it.
much for that. But hey, I got an idea.
Yeah,
Here's another idea I want to run by you. All right.
absolutely. I love ideas.
What do you think about getting Australian and American artists together and have
Hmm.
one big festival featuring Australian and
Hmm.
American artists?
Right,
What do you
cool.
think?
Amazing. Well, that's great. That's actually awesome. I mean, actually, I mean, I have American. Most of my artists are American. I get Australian. I've got Australian artists as well, actually, already. But that would definitely be something exciting, I think, to work on with the music. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, be like a super concert, wouldn't it? You know, it really would of
Wouldn't it
all
be
these
funny if that
amazing.
happened? And then we guys look back at
Yeah.
this and say, hey, we
Oh,
came up with that
absolutely.
idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I think that would be fantastic. One idea I've had is having all that a lot of famous bands that I work with play together. I'll be out there singing as well, and and like imagine like having like hot chocolate, having like Herman's Hermits, having other famous bands. Another guy from the New York Dolls and stuff like that, and his bands he's in, and just really putting as many different famous acts together as possible. I'm having a big, like I said earlier, like a super concert. That'd be
Let's do
very
it.
cool. Yeah, that'd be so cool, wouldn't
We'll
it?
bring the Artist Spotlight show right to that location. We'll interview
Mm,
like we're
mm,
interviewing you. We'll interview
yeah.
all those bands and we'll have it live before they go live.
Yeah, that'd be so cool, wouldn't it? And anyone else can
Oh
put in
yeah.
there. Any other famous bands in there, just get them famous people in there and put them in as well. And yeah, yeah, put it like a mass concert.
That'd be so
Yeah,
awesome. That would be so
so
cool
cool,
to
so
make that
cool.
happen.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, that'd be awesome to do that. Definitely.
Well, my
Yeah.
friend, it is so fun to have you on our show.
Yeah,
And get ready for
yeah.
part two. I'm gonna bring you back for part two. We're to
Excellent,
continue this
excellent,
conversation. And
amazing, amazing.
making music great. And thank you for all you do, and thanks for the
Thank you,
feedback.
thanks so much. Yeah,
And you
no,
know,
thanks so much.
you're amazing, and you're all you're
Oh,
a
thank
great
you.
example of
Well,
what the Artist Spotlight Show is all about. It's all about interviewing
yeah,
people
helping
just like
people,
yourself. And
helping people with their music, their
exactly right.
health, all that angles, all them angles of different things, and yeah, getting their songs out there. That's it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, you take care. Have fun in New York.
You
I'm actually
too.
going to New York next week. I
Oh,
cover the
enjoy it.
Buffalo
Yeah,
Bisons. Yeah, I cover the Bisons,
absolutely.
the
Thank you.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh
So
wow,
I'll be up that way next week up in New York
amazing,
doing
amazing.
that. So
That's
hey,
great.
yeah. Make it when you can, right? So,
Exactly.
but
Yeah,
my
exactly.
friend,
We'll keep in touch.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
thank you so much for being on the show,
No,
and
amazing. I'm really grateful to be part of it, Russell. So it's been fantastic, and I say I'll help you much as possible with the music and the listeners.
right back at you, my friend. If there's
That's
anything
it.
that we can
Great.
do for you,
Absolutely. It's amazing.
we're only
Yep,
an
I'll keep
email
writing the
away.
songs. Yeah, keep writing the songs for celebrities and singing them and keep promoting them and other people out there that need the help as well.
Right on. All right,
That's
my
it.
friend. Well, you take
And
care of
teaching.
yourself, and
Take care. Yep.
That
PC.
was Liam
Thank
Edward
you.
Golder on the show, the Artist Spotlight Show. We want to thank him for his time, and what a great interview that was. If you're an upcoming aspiring artist, you want to get your name out there, what are you waiting for? Send that information to info.musicdreamsusa@gmail.com, and we'll get you in contact with the right people. And thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please let others know. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Music Dreams USA Radio. Again, our show being brought to you by Biker Bay Barber and Company, Music Dreams USA Radio. We play everything for everyone, and Blue Shamrock Record Label. I want to thank those guys for sponsoring our show. And we'll be back with another great artist. And if that's you, can't wait to speak to you. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching the Artist Spotlight Show live on Music Dreams USA Radio. It's your friend Russell K, wishing you and yours a very pleasant good afternoon.